Check, check. One, two, three. Okay. No problem.
Hello, Warren. Welcome, 10 viewers so far. Hello, Stephen. I assume the audio is working this time.
Yep.
Hello, Irish Dragon. Mark the Light. Great to see you.
Yes, I do.
Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Wonkno listeners. Welcome, David Banner listeners. And everybody that came before that, Nurse Goth listeners. Everybody that's been here all Monday, the Mark the Light listeners. Thank you for being here. Our special guest tonight is Bryan Do from Los Angeles. Welcome, Bryan.
Thank you very much, Randall. Hello, everyone.
And Bryan and I, we go back now, 3 years? Going on 2-3?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, we've only known each other a couple of years, and we go on the 80s cruise and other parties together. And Cruel World this coming Saturday. If you're in LA, call us. Call him, call me. We'll hook up. We'll say hello.
Yes.
What band are you looking forward to most at Cruel World?
You know, I've never seen Blancmange live, and so that's a bucket list item for me. So, love to see them.
Bucket list. Cool. I am
Getting smaller. It's getting smaller, but I still have a few bands on there.
As it should be. Well, we are going to get right after music. What is your first song, Mr. B? Hello. We're going to play a lot of Synthpop.
Yeah, so this evening we're going to play a lot of my favorites that I've had for the last 30, 35 years. The first one is Images of Heaven from Peter Godwin. And I first discovered this track from Steve Masters, who was the legendary DJ at KITS Live 105 in San Francisco. And he would play this. He would play this often. The melodies would instantly hook me. And I played it a lot, too, in the clubs. People loved it.
Mm-hmm. And, we'll just get it started. And I first found this record for $2.
That's a steal.
And I looked for it for 15 years.
I probably bought it for about $20 back in the early 90s.
Oh, wow. So we also want to welcome all the 80s Cruiser friends and 80s in the Sands people. If you're listening tonight, Looking forward to the cruise next year. And on who on the cruise are you looking forward to most?
Chuck. Chuck's my favorite. Minna, you,
Oh no, no, not
all the
people, not people,
usuals.
bands.
Bands. I don't even worry about the bands anymore, Randall. I
Ah,
go because of the people. So I'm gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
No, definitely, it's about the friends and the people, and that's
But
why we
but
go
you
back.
you got me to say one person, Gary Newman.
Gary Newman. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. My highlight's gonna be Heaven 17
Okay.
because I've
Yeah.
never seen him live.
Yeah. They
So
were at Cruel World before.
yeah, well, I missed that one. This is our
Yeah.
first Cruel World. So
Yes.
all right. So again, welcome everybody. Here is the original 12-inch of Images of Heaven. This is my $2 record. Mr. Peter G, Images of Heaven, and we have Tony Tolan in the audience. Welcome, Tony.
Hey, Tony from Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, and I want to let everybody know, listening, there's a lot of stuff coming up this summer, a lot of great shows. Mr. Bryan, not only will we see him at Cruel World this coming Saturday, but you are also DJing a Strangelove show the same night as the 80s Bash. So if you're in LA and not coming to the Bash, when are you DJing?
I'm going to be helping them out on August the 16th. It's at the Wiltern. So be there.
So
you're going to be in Los Angeles.
It's going to be a really big show, and you get to do a DJ set, which is awesome.
It's one of the biggest audiences that they can play to in Los Angeles, other than the Pacific Amphitheater at the fairgrounds, but pretty big.
So if you're in or around LA and want to see Strangelove and Bryan DJing, go do that. It's also the same weekend as the 80s Bash here in Denver, and you can find that on Facebook. And what else is going on? Peter Godwin doing Images of Heaven is at Numbers Nightclub on Friday the 15th, I believe. Right? Do you have the date?
And he'll be here in Los Angeles at Greek Theater too on August the 24th.
So
he actually just sent me a message this morning saying he's looking forward to it.
Well, as you should. So if you want to catch Images of Heaven live at Houston Friday, the 15th. Lots of stuff going on this coming summer. Also, we'll talk about Eloquent opening for Men Without Hats all the way up until then. That is August 13th, the weekend of the Bash.
I'm so bummed I can't make it there to Denver to see you guys.
That's right. We're hoping to get an LA show here soon. And Steven, his other band, Foreign Affair, has a show coming up. Steven, when is that? Put it in the chat. He's got a show somewhere in LA in the next short time period. I just don't remember the date. And we'll play his stuff soon. But let's get right back to music. Anything else you want to add about Peter?
Other than just looking forward to seeing him. He rarely comes over here to the States, and so it'll be a great opportunity for everybody to see him. So definitely catch it.
Yeah,
it's part of the Lost 80s Live tour that they're doing with like a Flock of Seagulls, General Public, and some other bands. So he's going to be with them.
And while we're talking about the 80s Bash, there is even more exciting news. We have decided to do an 80s Bash in Puerto Vallarta with Tony and Greg. It's going to be the last Saturday of January. So mark it on your calendars. There will be a Facebook event page in the next week or so with hotel and information about it. But the same as the Bash here in Denver, it's going to be the 80s Bash TV edition. And Tony and Greg are hosting. We're taking over a club with luck. We can bring in our own DJ. So let's bug Christopher if he wants to come down and spin, and he and I can spin.
Yeah, definitely.
But mark your calendars. Don't say you didn't know. So for the 90 people here that are on the cruise and other things, 80s Bash here in August 16th and in Mexico on January 24th. We're looking forward to that. Okay, let's get back to music. I have picked another one of those Depeche Mode kind of wannabe bands. Not that they set out to do this, but Moscow TV.
No one intentionally tries to sound like Depeche Mode. They just want to.
and they have a lot of songs. Generator 7/8 was a really big one for them. But I've always liked this one. This is called The Art of Fashion because it's really hooky and melodic, like a great synth pop song should be. Here we go.
Okay. It does. It's got the sense of camouflage.
sounds, movies, journals, style of dress. It's all fashion and it's all a mess. The honest fashion. You've got to get into the honest fashion. You've got to get the honest fashion. You've got to get the honest fashion. The number of the idolaters is growing day by day. There's a lot of work for investigators who try to rule this play. Sex and drugs and acquired roles. Do you still intend to save your soul? We live in the narcissistic age. It's just a golden cage. The honest fashion. You've got to get into the honest fashion. You've got to get the honest fashion. You've got to get the honest fashion. You've got to get into the honest fashion. The honest fashion. The honest fashion. The honest fashion.
And this is the 12-inch, so we are going to break it here so we can get more music in.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to play the crap out of this in the club. It was just so good.
And you can always tell which records you played a lot because the album sleeve would get all messed up, and then you get like scratches on your record.
Yeah, they all
Yeah.
break through here in the
Yeah,
center.
the spindle.
But yeah, look at these
Back.
handsome gents. Mm-hmm.
You know what? That was the fashion back then, man.
And hence the art of fashion.
Yeah.
Well, you have picked Cube for your next song.
Yes. So this next song, not many people know about. It's called "Love's Taboo," and it's very. I don't consider it a true synth-pop song because you can play it in many different clubs. You can play it kind of like in a bongo type of club. You can play it in the Riviera. You can play it in the Caribbeans. But it's a great song to dance to. I discovered this by Steve Masters again at Live 105 up in San Francisco.
Yeah, and we both lived
He-
there and listened to him.
Yeah, it's a great time. This was like in the late 80s, and he was a definitive DJ. I mean, when you spoke of synth pop, I know Richard Blade is big down here in Los Angeles, but up in the Northern California, everybody knew Steve.
He
They said that's
was
the guy.
Richard Blade up there.
Yeah, he was. He really was.
And he had his own remix service called M for a while.
hmm And he put out a bunch of mega mixes of Depeche Mode that actually were out there,
Mm-hmm.
given to DJs. I had quite a few of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
I-
popular.
I got a couple of them, of the M's, and he had Madonna and Depeche Mode on there. I can't remember what else.
I think he did a couple of Duran Duran ones, just some of the ones that were catchy.
Oh, speaking of, I picked up this kind of bootleg thing of Duran Duran the other day, and I got to find it because it was like the weirdest record that I've never seen, and I haven't even opened it yet. And of course, it's
Okay.
lost, so I'll look for it. I mean, I had one job to do. Hold on to it.
No problem.
So-
They put out a great during Record Store Day a few weeks ago. They put out a great single that they had where when you play it, it would show the figures dancing on the vinyl. It was pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah. I have seen that move, and it's really cool.
Mhm.
I didn't buy that one. I grabbed a couple other things, like the Aha Demos album. And,
Okay.
And I can't remember. Talk Talk, or was it? Anyway, they're here, and I'll grab them. I'll play them tonight if we don't run out of time. I want to let everybody know if you're new to the show, I'm here every Monday night at 7 p.m. Denver time, 6 p.m. Pacific. Do the math going the other way. So add an hour as you go Central and East Coast. And we have a different guest here every week. Next Saturday and through the weekend, we'll be at Cruel World. So my friend DJ Poe is going to host the show from Portland. And Missy and y'all round around, you can go over there and be a part of that show. He's going to do my show Monday because we fly back to see Blancmange here in Denver. And we have tickets. thanks to the Dollhouse. Thank you, Dollhouse. So next week you'll have a guest host, which doesn't happen often. We also have different shows coming up. I have Animotion coming on as a guest. We've had lots of really super guests on, and even our friend Christopher J was on about a month ago, and he did great. I love his selections, and it's all about the music. So let's play Love's Taboo. Oh, and we have a hype train. Thank you, everybody.
Ain't never gonna go away. Over mountain just to know that you can understand and say we're gonna push and shove and call out loud and promise you a better plan. Too easy now to run. Charge it to more than give away a secret. Who's been telling who? And I'm letting all the anger subside. Remember all the wild things of life. I'll give you everything this time, but I'll go. Love sad. We've been at the yoke, round and round, round and round we go. Love sad. It turns me upside down, round and round, round and round.
Hello, Paula.
In this game to win, one big lesson in life. Watch the body move as if to tell you this is the way in. We're gonna fall you from down inside and tear all things we always tried. Sometimes it's so true.
That is Cube, Love's Taboo. And Brian,
Yes.
I too learned about it from Steve Masters. And then Art of
All right.
Mix, they're responsible for putting out that for so many people because that was impossible to get on vinyl.
Right. Art of Mix and Razor Made with this DJ remixing service out of Northern California. Excellent. It was the best remix service even to this day. Like I have the entire Razor Made mixes. I think I spent $350 to buy Joseph Watt's entire catalog.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah,
I think I have probably 80% of them, and Mike Rich and Hello Paula have, between us all, we have them all on vinyl.
yep.
And just the Secession Magician came from there for me. So many great songs. So let's get back to music. Let's see. Oh, Foreign Affair. So this record arrived. This one, I forgot what camera I'm looking at. Oh, and by the way, we have a hype train. We have level 5 hype train. Thanks so much, everybody. I never get past level 1 or 2, so this is great. And I've decided what I'm doing with the next payday from Twitch. I'm buying another camera, right? There's my stream camera up by the deck. That looks at me on a normal show. But whenever I show vinyl, I only have one extra camera, so I have to switch from that turntable to this, and I have to do it by hand. It's a big pain in the ass. So I have ordered a second camera, so I'll be able to show both turntables. I won't be such a flippin' hack. It's going to be great.
There you go.
I know.
Multicam.
So Stephen Cochran, he's in the chat. You know him from my band Eloquent. He and his partner Steve Bliss, he's also in the chat. Their record just came out. You can see it, the red vinyl here. It just shipped. So if you ordered some, you should have it by now, if not any day. And I have one extra copy here for whatever guest comes on the show next year live.
Yeah. Look at that handsome guy, Steve, on the cover. He's always super handsome. Look at that guy.
I can take my sunglasses on and off. I got to get more pictures of sunglasses. This looks cool. And I designed the cover for them because I always do all the art for the labels. So if you want to get this, if you like it, it's on Bandcamp, and Stephen Cochran put the link up. This is Change the World. Just came out last week.
Complications, a storm.
That is Stephen Cochran's new project, Foreign Affair. And Stephen, if you could put the link in the chat again, that'd be great for Bandcamp. If you like that, support independent artists. Right, Brian? That's what we always say.
Yeah.
Support them.
Great track.
And I love it. Pure Synthpop on...
Yeah, I love colored vinyl.
I know. I tried to do this on our last album, but it came out like dog shit, purpley plum. Anyway, I think that's a good time for people to listen to the next song. What do you got for us?
I've got Depeche Mode, Shake the Disease.
Oh, yeah,
We're going to talk a little bit about Depeche Mode.
All right, let's talk about Depeche Mode.
So everyone knows that that's my favorite band, and I've listened to them since 1982, 83. I was about 11 years old. My older brothers, I have older brothers that are much older than I am. They would always bring home the records, like all these new wave, like Soft Cell, Human League, Depeche Mode, and I got hooked immediately. You know, the synthesizers and the melodies were just extraordinary. I picked Shake the Disease in particular because that is my most favorite Depeche Mode track.
Okay.
In interviews with Alan Wilder, who everyone knows left the band, he often mentioned Shake the Disease as their quintessential Depeche Mode song. He said that's the song that all the instrumentation came together. There was a lull between the Some Great Reward album and Black Celebration. He was always wanting to create songs. So he went back into the studio, got Shake the Disease out, and it appeared on the Catching Up with Depeche Mode, that white covered album.
Yeah.
Sire Records put that out right there to more or less reintroduce the band to American audiences back in 84, 85. And it's one of the only singles that's not on an album by itself, like not a true album. And so I just fell in love with Shake the Disease. Yeah. Great track.
And I couldn't remember. I'm certainly a huge fan, but I don't have the knowledge base you do. And I looked for this on a record, and I thought I had all their LPs. And I'm looking through them all, and I was like, I must have a 12-inch of it. I don't. Yep. Well.
Yeah, this is it here. It's got really great art too. It's got this figure that looks like it's dancing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, that's one I don't own. It's on the list. Thank you, everybody, for the hype train. It supports this channel and all the costs associated with buying new records and keeping new music here. But tonight we're playing a bunch of old music, except for the last song. All right, here it is.
So here's Shake the Disease.
understand me. Here is a plea, my heart to you. Nobody knows me as well as you do. You know how hard it is for me to shake the disease that takes hold of my tongue in situations like this. My heart to you. Nobody knows me as well as you do. You know how hard it is for me to shake the disease that takes hold of my tongue in situations like these. There is a plea from my heart to you. Nobody knows me as well as you do. You know how
Welcome, Jeff Payson. Speaking of the
Welcome,
amazing Payson, we are going to go to Chicago July 11th for a boat cruise and DJ thing with Jeff Moyer, Greg House, and Greg Corner. So if anyone's in the Chicago area and wants to come on the boat, look it up on Facebook or give me a shout. Anything else about Depeche Mode? I thought you would have picked like 20 songs by them.
Well, I easily can. What I did one time was back in 93, 94, I did a 24-hour marathon of the Depeche Mode live on the air. I was the resident DJ at San Jose State University, so I played it Labor Day weekend, I think it was. Phones were ringing off the hook. More. I didn't go to sleep for like 36 hours straight. I just kept playing. And so I just couldn't stay awake any longer.
And you never really run out of Depeche Mode, do you?
No, I played every single remix, every single Razor Made, Art of Mix, Ulti-Mix, every different version.
Oh
that they
yeah, I
have,
forgot
every
about
song.
Ultimix. I remember Prime Cuts, and we always called it Prime Sucks. Remember Prime Sucks? Prime
They're
Sucks.
not as good as Razor Made, but they're all right.
No, and I wasn't going to play any Razor Made, but when you mentioned it earlier, I looked around to see what I had up here, and I found the special collector's edition. I think this is the 3-year anniversary or whatever this one is.
Okay.
And it has Ho Ho Com, Harlequin Tears on it, Pet Shop Boys, ABC, Bronski Beat, and that's what Razor Made was good for, wasn't it? That style of music.
Yep, it was.
But I'm going to play New Order Subculture off the Razor Made because we're going to be seeing them at Cruel World on Saturday.
Yep.
And they closed down.
That is one of my favorite tracks, Subculture.
Yeah. And I'm a big fan of the 12-inch that does not have the girls singing in it. You know, one of these days. I mean, come on, New Order. You didn't need that in it.
I never played that version in the club. I just couldn't stand it.
Gross. So here is the Razor Made, most of it. Here we go.
always try, I always miss. One of these days you'll go back to your home. You won't even notice that you are alone. One of these days when you sit by yourself, you'll realize you can't chat without someone else. In the end you will submit. It's got to hurt you a little bit. That you are alone. One of these days when you sit by yourself, you'll realize you can't chat without someone else. In the end you will submit. It's got to hurt you a little bit. You can't shine without someone else. In the end you will submit. It's got to hurt you a little bit.
Yeah, Questy, I don't think this Razor Maid has the frogs.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I think.
But yeah, definitely better than the one of these days. Oh my god.
Why did they? Who thought that was good?
That was not Peter Hook's idea. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, it's Peter Hook's responsible. Mr. Melody. Okay, well, okay. We love Peter Hook. So The Cure is next. Now, I looked, and this only is on the Crow soundtrack and a special vinyl of like rarities or B-sides from The Cure.
That is correct. The track is called Burn, and it was specially made for the movie The Crow. And so, for those of you that don't know, Brandon Lee is the son of Bruce Lee. He was the main hero character in the movie, and he died during the filming of the movie. They had so many scenes where they were shooting, gunfire, and apparently one of the blanks still had something loaded in it, hit him in the chest, and he had cardiac arrest and died.
Yeah.
I remember watching this movie in the theater, and Burn came on for the first time. It had a really kind of slow melodic intro, and I was just captivated by. I mean, any song that The Cure does, I'm captivated by. But this one especially hit me. It hit me deep because of Brandon Lee's death, and this is great. When you hear it, just imagine yourself sitting in a dark theater. The crescendo builds up, and then it just starts running. That's what it does. The song just runs.
Yeah. Okay. Let's let it go. Here we go. right, that is The Cure from the Crow soundtrack. And Brian, we have Mike Z from Anything Box here in the chat. And
Hey, Mike.
hi, Mike. Mike was on the show a couple weeks ago. And I did say that we had some Anything Box planned for the show, so it's coming up. Right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
A little bit later if we get to it.
Well, we can always change it. I will play it if we run out of time.
Yeah.
Okay, up next, Erasure. This is one of my favorite albums. I mean, I love the first album, Wonderland, because that's the first one I ever heard, like Some Great Reward, but I just really loved this album. Of course, it has a little respect. Chains of Love are both on this
Yeah,
record.
that's a fantastic album. It came out, even the art and imagery, the stained glass
Yeah.
cover, fantastic. I just saw Andy Bell on the 80s cruise with you.
Yes.
I know you were sick for some of that, but
No, I didn't miss Andy Bell. I was sick in the room for like 2 nights in a row.
yeah,
But
sorry about that.
thanks. I was there for both Andy Bell shows, though. You know.
Yes, and he sang a new song called "Don't You Know" off his new album "10 Crowns." He's gonna be touring.
Yeah, and
And it's fantastic.
where is that? You know.
People ask what happened to Erasure's last tour. If you didn't know, Vince Clarke's wife passed away, and so they had to cancel the tour. But Andy's out right now touring by himself. He's got a new solo album out. Let's just keep, thinking good thoughts for Vince.
Yeah, definitely.
When he's ready, he'll be back.
Oh yeah,
But let's give him time.
he can't stay away from happy synthpop.
Yeah.
And Andy was terrific on the boat. He played 99% Erasure songs.
Yeah, he did. It was fantastic. His voice is just amazing. I
Yeah.
just love it.
He did well. He sounded great. And he is touring, so check your listings. Just go to the Andy Bell's website and socials and see where he's playing. He is coming here to Denver for the Denver folks. I forgot where he's playing. Maybe Paramount? I don't know. But we have tickets, and can't wait to see him again. And
And he'll be here in Los Angeles at the middle of December. I think December 12th and 13th. I'm going to catch him 2 nights.
awesome.
Here.
Of course, you're going to go to both.
Yep.
Kind of like when Yazoo did their 30th anniversary. Most people went to both shows in LA.
Yeah. Because sometimes they switch up their set list a little bit, right? Even if
Yeah.
it's just one song different. I'm that's worth it to me.
I was going to say, when are you ever going to see Yazoo perform with Vince and Allison again? Do you think they'll do it again?
I don't think so. Not with the current state of affairs. Yeah. Very difficult.
And what's the word on Cruel World this Saturday with Alison Moyet? Like, what % of her songs versus Yazoo songs does she typically sing, or do you think she'll sing?
I think she'll sing a lot of her solo songs. It's great. She's got new material out. If you want to spoil yourself, go ahead and look on setlist.fm. Yes, I love that album. Invisible is one of my favorite tracks.
Well, we might get it on.
But she will sing a combination. I think about half. I think we'll see about half of each.
Okay. Well, it should be good. She's one of the ones I'm looking forward to.
Yep, absolutely.
And Tony Tolan, Nation of Language, is playing the Cruel World.
Yes, they'll be early though. I think they're up like at 2 o'clock or something like that. Pretty early in the day.
At the same time as Major, or who's playing at the same time as her? Him, them. He's looking the schedule. He'll tell us. So that is this weekend of May 15th, 16th.
So Nation of Language is on the same time as, they're squeezed in the same time as Blamage, and it's gonna,
Yeah, and the thing is, we're seeing Blamage the next Monday, so I'm thinking Nation of Language is probably the better bet for us.
Yeah.
Only because we're going to see them.
And people ask, why do they do this? Why do they make me choose between all these different bands? It's because they don't want 60,000 people, 50,000 people all at one stage. I get it. They do that at Coachella with multiple stages. They do that at all the big festivals.
Yeah, that's typical. But it sucks when 2 bands you want to see are playing at the same time.
Exactly. So you have to make some hard decisions this weekend. Make your hard decision.
Yeah.
But catch the band if you can, if they're playing a full set like you are in Denver, the Monday after.
Yeah, I think that will be the better bet because it's going to just be them and not a crazy hot venue sweating to the oldies. Here is Erasure, and you're wondering what I picked. Phantom Bride.
I love that track.
Where are our Erasure emotes? There's one. Thank you, Stephen.
She was a shy girl from a lonely street. She had no job to do, no friends to meet. She'd sit in silence in her rented room, dream of her childhood and invented truths. And in her mind she'd drift away, a secret place to steal away. Don't you cry, don't you cry. Let me wipe away tears from your eyes. Don't you cry, don't you cry. Let me wipe away tears from your eyes. He was a good boy from the outside of town. Said he could treat her right, said he could win her round. Her morning sickness and the kick inside, phantom kisses of her phantom bride. And in her mind she'd drift away, a secret place to steal away. Don't you cry, don't you cry. Let me wipe away tears from your eyes. Don't you cry, don't you cry. Let me wipe away the teardrops from your eyes. And in her mind she'd drift away, a secret place to steal away. Don't you cry, don't you cry. Let me wipe away tears from your eyes. Don't you cry, don't you cry. Let me wipe away tears, no more lies. Don't you cry, don't you cry. Let me wipe away tears from your eyes. Don't you cry, don't you cry. Let me wipe away tears, no more lies. Don't you cry, don't you cry. Let me wipe away tears from your eyes.
That is Erasure, Phantom Bride from the Innocence record. A fine one, huh? And we,
Very fine one.
yeah. And I just remembered, if you're in and around Denver, I'm doing a old school dark wave and goth set at the Deadbeat Club on Saturday, May 24th, and 2 Saturdays from now. It's the front entrance on Broadway if you're in Denver, and I'm just going to do Sisters of Mercy, Front 242, Zymox, Mauve, all that kind of
Harder
stuff.
stuff. Right.
Yeah, but I'm going to throw in Depeche Mode and Happy Synthpop too. I'm going to call it like an old school goth set, but yet with some synth pop mixed in. So if you're in and around Denver on the 24th of May, stop by. And the reminder for you, you're DJing the Strange Love Show August 16th. Did I get the date right?
Yep.
All right.
Here in Los Angeles at the Wiltern Theater.
So if you're out there, do it, to it, true it. And we'll remind people about the bash at the next commercial interruption. All right, your next one, Succession. Excited about this. This is in my top 10 favorite synth pop songs of all time.
Yeah. So Secession is a very obscure band. They Not many people will know the band, but when they hear the song the Magician, they'll go, "I heard this in the clubs," and it never fails to get people onto the dance floor. Whenever I played this, um, it's just great. It's just one of those tracks that it's stayed with me for so many years. I love listening to it.
And
Great
another,
melodies.
is this a Steve Masters song for you too?
I think he played it a lot as well. I played it a lot, probably even more than he did. So
Yeah, it is something. And this was their big hit. I mean, they have other songs.
yeah,
I think the next biggest one is Touch,
Touch, Promise, yeah, a couple of good ones.
Sneakyville. And yeah, you have the 12-inch of Touch.
I do actually. Yes, it had many different like edits on there.
Yeah, and and I don't have it in front of me. It's downstairs. But is it the one that said part 3 and 4 on it? The 12-inch.
Yeah, it has like a cube-looking
Yeah.
blue color designs on it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very
And as a DJ and fan, I was like, where do I find part 1 and 2? Okay, well, here is Succession, the Magician.
If the choice were mine, you know I'd go, but all along you made that easy for me. If I had a chance to gaze again upon the ocean, tell me, what would I see? An empty sky, an empty sea, a violent place for us to be.
Give it up now, baby. Come on, darling. You'll never understand the pain you've caused me. You spin my head around, hit me when I'm down. I found my feet again, now I can't lose.
DJ Ballet Girl, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders.
Now I'm on the street full of people passing by and they're all laughing at me. Then I'm in a room without a door and all the walls are closing in on me. An empty sky, a violent sea, all these things you are to me.
Give it
That is Succession, The Magician. And a fine pick, Brian.
Yes, thank you.
While we were starting, DJ Ballet Girl had a raid. Thank you.
Yes, I know DJ Ballet Girl. It's Lisa, my friend. Hi,
Awesome. Lisa. Welcome. Thank you for your raid, and you've raided here before. We welcome your listeners. Thank you very much. We are here every Monday at 7 p.m. Denver time. And where is Ballet Girl?
She is down Orange County.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I imagine she'll be at Cruel World. Do we know?
Let's see.
Ballet Girl?
See.
Are you? Hey, yeah. Are you going?
Yeah.
Orange County. Yeah. We are flying in Thursday, going to Disneyland Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, and Cruel World on Saturday.
Yeah, she's not going this year. Oh, we're gonna miss you, Lisa.
Okay, well, Miss Lisa, if you're in the Orange County area, so are we. If you aren't going to the pre-party for Cruel World, we're hosting a dinner in Villa Italia. Villa Italia, that was the name of a mall. Villa Park, Friday night. If you aren't going
Don't
to
worry,
the pre-party.
you're forgiven. You're not from here, so you're forgiven.
Yeah. So you want to talk about the other pre-party, the bigger one, with Richard Blade, Friday night before Cruel
There's a
World?
couple of them. Yeah, there's one with DJ Bueller that is on the larger Cruel World attendees group page. I think a lot of people are going to that one. And then Richard Blade is hosting one that's going to have to reflex. And it's going to be at the place called the Noor. It's in a kind of like a big outdoor kind of shopping center in Old Town Pasadena. It can hold a lot of people.
All right.
And the Reflex, for those of you that don't know, they're a cover band here in Southern California. My buddy Greg Craycraft is the lead vocalist for that group. Fantastic. Russ Sims is on guitar. On drums. They played on the 80s Cruise. The last time we were out and about, and they're well loved, well received here in Southern California. I recommend going to that pre-party.
Yeah, and I got lucky and was able to DJ the Reflex pre-party for the cruise 2 years ago, and then they played on the cruise last year. And what great energy! And surprise, surprise, the last night of the cruise, Clive Farrington from When in Rome jumped on stage with them.
Yes.
And
Yes, it's always a treat. That's the one thing I want to say about the 80s cruise is you'll get these mixed mash of bands that get together that you'll never see anywhere else in the world. You'll have a vocalist from one band up on stage, a guitarist from another band, a drummer from another band. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, and it's the end of February next year. It's a week cruise, all 80s music, all day, all night, bands, 3 ports. And for the first time, I think they're doing Rock the Dock, a party on land, and kind of a festival one of the nights.
In Nassau, yeah, Billy Ocean's going to play there at the new amphitheater they have constructed there in Nassau. It'll be great. It's going to be an all-day party out there.
And it's not too late. They have not sold out yet, but they usually do. And go to 80scruise.com and get yourself a ticket on the 80s Cruise. We'll see you there. And we met Joy Rabbit. Joy Rabbit, hello. Randomly, we were seated in the dining room next to Joy Rabbit and her husband, and there they were, Joy Rabbit in the chat. Not a rabbit that's full of joy. But we could talk about the 80s Cruise for hours. Let's get back to music.
Yeah.
This is, you played The Cure, and I grabbed the song The Cure, To the Sky.
That's a great B-side.
Yeah, and it only, I believe, exists on vinyl in 2 places. A bootleg, and then this is called Razor Cuts, Red Hot Razor Cuts, and this was put out by Art of Mix, and
Yes.
and not
It's very difficult to get a hold of back in the early 90s.
impossible. It was only on CD, this song.
Yeah.
And when this record came out, they did it, I believe, illegally, and because everybody wanted it on vinyl, and so Art of Mix was doing their thing out of San Francisco, and the main founder of Art of Mix passed away. And
Art Maharg.
oh no, we're talking about Razormaid versus Art of Mix.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and so Art of Mix's partner John Pillen Jr. put out this sort of series called razor cuts or something, and he ruined most of them. But thankfully, he didn't put all these weird ass sound effects through this song. I'm going to play about 60% of it. Here we go.
Let's skip that one. Let's go to the Twins. We can do that one, yeah. You know what? I talked to a lot of Cure purists. They said that this song tends to be kind of too schmaltzy for them, kind of too soft around the edges. Yeah, I mean, I get it.
I mean, it's
But
no.
I like the melodies.
Yeah, it's
I
no
like the melodies.
disintegration, but
Yeah.
it certainly is a great song for a B-side that was never really released properly.
Right.
Okay, we move on. And yes, Friday, doing, for the people who aren't going to one of the pre-parties up north, we will be in Orange, near Orange, California, for a taco truck party Friday night. And if anyone wants to go to Disney, Thursday night, going to Disney on Thursday. Thanks to our friend Riley Moore. She got us some tickets. But let's talk about Red Flag, the Reynolds brothers.
Yes. So this band has gotten so much comparison to Depeche Mode. Just their style when they first came out. These guys came to the club where I DJ'd at, and at the time they had just released, I think, maybe 8 songs. And what was so funny was they started out with Russian radio.
Russian radio, yeah.
And towards the end, even after the encore, people wanted more. They said, "Come on, come back on stage." So they sang that song twice in the same night within like 45 minutes. I thought it was a little hilarious, but but the folks that came a little bit later, they missed out at the beginning because they played their biggest hit in the beginning of the show, so they got to see it again. So that's great. Yeah, this album, their first debut album, Naive Art, fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of any other band, even better than Depeche Mode, that had a better debut album. I mean, every single song on Red Flag's first album was a colossal hit to me.
Yeah, definitely.
Just synth pop perfection.
And if I ever hear it again, I would agree.
And I'll count to 3.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was when I heard this, I was like, oh, this is Depeche Mode. But it wasn't. But it was like produced so well, so sugary and great.
Right. Even the album art was like this little girl standing in front of the painting of them in the background. It's just very classic. I thought, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Whoever that just dreamt up their whole package.
Definitely in my top 10 synth pop albums and
Yes.
songs, and this 12-inch in my top 10. Now this is the 12-inch single that you see here on the camera, Broken Heart, and all the singles did not have the little girl on the cover, but here is Broken Heart, and we're playing the 12-inch. We won't play it all, but the great thing about this as a DJ is that the beat mixed perfectly with, Strange Love, Pain Mix, Information Society, of that genre.
Yeah. Anything around like 128 to 130 BPMs, perfect.
Yeah, and this is just pure synth brilliance. And remember this label, Synthesize
Yes.
Records
Yes.
on red vinyl. Here we go, one of my faves. So thanks for coming on the show. We have 45 minutes left of synth pop, and you're going to have to sign up for part 2 because we're nowhere near going to dip into all the music. And I promised Anything Box, and it's further down in your list. We can move it up, or I'll play it after your next song.
Yeah, we'll play it right after this.
All right, well, here we go. Do you hear pure energy? Pure.
Yeah.
Pure energy. Duran Duran. All she wants is. And the hits just keep coming. Listen to that.
It's not the way that you bring me to my knees. It's not the way you borrow, beg, or
Clear vinyl, love it.
I'm on the verge of nowhere. The sight, the sound, the smell of the air. It could be false, although it could be true. A simple touch, a hand to hold on to. Falling off the edge of nowhere. The sight, the sound, with nobody there. You can't break the pieces of a broken heart in two. So why do you? You can't break the pieces of a broken heart in two. So tell me why do you? Do you believe that it hides the truth from you? Oh silly girl, there's things I would rather do. Falling off the edge of nowhere. The sight, the sound, with nobody there. It could be true, we've taken it a bit too far. Sweet and simple is all we really are. I'm on the verge of nowhere. The sight, the sound, the smell of the air. You can't break the pieces of a broken heart in two. So why do you? You can't break the pieces of a broken heart in two. So tell me why you?
funny thing with this band is the two brothers, right? Mark and Chris Reynolds. Chris looked a lot like Martin Gore from Depeche Mode. So whenever they came to my nightclub, the very first thing people thought was Martin Gore's here, and then everybody rushed over. And Chris would say, "Sorry, that this disappoints you."
And
But he had the kind of poofy blonde hair, just like Martin did back in the day.
And Martin lives in L.A. now, right?
No, Mark. Well, I wouldn't say L.A., but Santa Barbara. He's
Okay.
close enough to L.A. where it's like an hour and a half drive. But yeah, Southern California.
Well, yeah, I think of Santa Barbara as a little bit more northern California.
Not quite. It's still Southern
in the middle?
California. Yeah, in the middle would be more like San Luis Obispo, kind of up there. Yeah.
I'm born and raised in Northern California, San Francisco, Marin County, so I forget all that stuff. I've been here in Colorado so long. So we are changing up your playlist order and getting Anything Box on. Let's talk about Claude.
Yes.
Let's talk about Anything Box.
So Claude, fantastic vocalist. For those of you that don't know, he's the lead singer for Anything Box, and he does primarily shows now by himself. Danya and Paul used to be in the band way back in the day, but they got their families, they got their kids. I certainly understand. Claude, though, has this great artistic imagery within his brain. He can draw, he can sing, it's just amazing. I'm just impressed with his art just as much as his vocal talents. And this band, Peace, this debut album, again, fantastic. Every song from start to finish, one of the best debut albums of any synthpop band in existence. The track that we're going to play, Carmen, right? You're going to play Carmen?
Yeah, Carmen.
So Carmen is a little bit more slow, but it has such strong vocals and just a strong beat to it that when it launches into it, you're just kind of taken back. You're just kind of like closing your eyes and imagining how Claude could even come up with this song. It's fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Steve Masters introduced me to this. Another Steve Masters story.
Okay.
He broke Living in Oblivion in San Francisco on Live 105.
Yeah.
And then I rushed out and bought the CD, of course, because it was the era of CDs then.
Yeah.
And wow.
I think it's one of my first CDs purchases as well.
Yeah. And my band Eloquent, it's Pet Shop Boys, Erasure, Anything Box, and Book of Love. Those four bands influence everything that Steven and I do. And specifically the bells and melodic structure, the FM sounds, and his ESQ synth, those things, and the sub melodies, the counterpoint. I could go on, but I won't. Let's just play it. Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I bet we could get them on, right? You know people at ECP.
Yeah, I regularly talk to the folks over that run the cruise. And so actually over the years I have made a couple of suggestions of bands that have appeared on the cruise. So I have a
Well,
little bit of weight there.
I think Anything Box on the cruise would make a great addition. So if they're thinking about adding any bands, this year would be a great one to do it.
Yeah, they do it fully 1 year in advance, so it would be like for 2027 if that's a possibility. But I'll talk to him. I don't know how he feels about being on a boat though, so we'll see.
Well, some bands fly in, get on the boat, play, and get off.
That's true.
So we'll leave it at that. And I don't know if you knew this or not, but Claude did Eloquence last album cover.
That is fantastic. I can
And,
see his style there. Yep,
yeah,
that's his signature.
and I contacted him since we've opened for him a few times, and I said, "Hey, would you mind if we use one of your pieces of art?" And he's like, "Sure."
Fantastic.
So I'm going to play Eloquent next. This is from our new album, which should be out in the next couple months. This is a song called Love Has No Labels, and I don't have artwork for it yet. Maybe I should call Claude again.
Yes,
I'd be like,
yes.
dude, do two in a row. So this is not mastered, not final mix. Doesn't have all the backing vocals in it. Rough mix. Here it is.
Yep.
Y'all can hear the Anything Box influence on this.
Let's all join together. Love has no labels. Let's make it last forever. Love has no labels. All the hate has got to stop. Love has no labels. Shout it from the mountaintop. Love has no labels. Love will survive. Love will never fail you. Open up your heart. Open up your mind. I know you can do it. I bet you will find happiness, joyfulness. Let's all join together. Love has no labels. Let's make it last forever. Love has no labels. All the hate has got to stop. Love has no labels. Shout it from the mountaintop. Love has no labels. Hey, haters alive. Hey, haters among us.
band Eloquent. And if you're,
Song,
oh, thanks.
very catchy.
We love happy synth pop, and we are playing August 13th here in Denver with Men Without Hats. If you're anywhere near the area in August, the weekend of the 80s Bash, which will be the 15th and 16th, also. That's all I have to say. You're next with the Twins.
Well done. Yes, the Twins. So this is a band that's from Germany. This song is called Time Will Tell.
Oh, time will
And it
tell.
was very hard to get back in the day because you had to get it imported. So
That's right.
you have to go to the import section, pay top dollar for it, usually twice as much as any U.S. release. I had this 12-inch of Will You Be There because it's just fantastic. I always played it every night in the clubs.
Oh, yeah. Go on.
And people just love to get out there. This is one of those feel-good songs. They go, who sang this? I go, it's a song, a group called Celebrate the Nun. They're like, what? Celebrate the what? I go, just listen to it. I tell people, just dance to it, just listen to it.
Yeah. The Twins, Time Will Tell. And Eloquent covered this on the, how many albums ago? This last album. Yeah.
Oh, they said they lost my mic.
Oh, no, I got it back on. It was me.
Okay.
I turned it
Got
back on while you were talking. Basically, you were saying that this is a really hard record to get back when it came out.
Yes.
They're from Germany,
was.
and you could only get it on import. I mean, there wasn't an American version of it.
Nope.
Because this band really didn't do anything in the USA. So,
And, yeah.
the Twins. All right. I'm going to play the album version so we can get more songs in.
Okay.
Here we go.
Time was when time stood still for our rendezvous. My heart beat in danger zone when I thought of you. What we had felt like an eternity, and nothing could go wrong or steal our ecstasy. When you're sleeping next to me, I'm waiting for the day I lie awake and dream of you 1,000 miles away. So time will tell, and time's never wrong. So time will tell, but time takes so long. So time will tell, and time's never wrong. So time will tell, but time takes so long. Our time's up, or that's the way that it seems to be. Your heartbeat is beating now for your liberty. What we had can never return again. No matter what we do, no matter who takes the blame, I lie awake and dream of you 1,000 miles away. So time will tell, and time's never wrong. So time will tell, but time takes so long. So time will tell, and time's never wrong. So time will tell, but time takes so long. I lie awake and dream of you 1,000 miles away. So time will tell, and time's never wrong. So time will tell, but time takes so long. So time will tell, and time's never wrong. So time will tell, but time takes so long. So time will tell,
was the Twins.
The Twins. Sorry, I got ahead of myself earlier and started talking about the next band already.
I know. It's all good. But that one in my top 10, 12 inches of the new wave genre. And you were saying that they are categorized as a Italo disco sometimes.
Yeah, so the interesting thing with some bands is there's this craze of new wave that came out in the early 80s, but structured in Asia. A lot of the Asian artists wanted to know more about new wave, and it was more poppy. They like the poppy type of new wave, not necessarily like dark wave. And so they got into the Twins, bands like Modern Talking, Gazebo, and so that's where I learned of all these other bands on that side.
Yeah, I think a lot of these bands sound a lot alike, except I think the Twins.
They do.
The Twins singing is very different vocally, but the music is on
His
par.
voice is very deep. Yeah, his voice is very deep.
And you know what's interesting to me is like the Twins, certainly in my top 10, 12 inches from back then, up there with where's Book of Love? I got to get Book of Love out. But Celebrate the Nun, we're going to play next. It's one of your songs, not one of mine, but it's also one of mine. So we're just going to play it.
Sure.
I think the Twins feels a little bit more dated. It hasn't worn as well as, say, Celebrate the Nun. This one feels just a little bit more current when we listen to it today. Here's Will You Be There? Anything you want to talk about it?
Just another club favorite. I would play it all the time.
All right.
Get people out the dance floor. Yep.
And this is the 12-inch. right, that is Celebrate the Nun, and
Yes.
they have a lot of great songs. And
Excellent track.
Heaven, Patience is another one.
Patience, yeah. Patience came out in the 90s. It was kind of more of like that's when like the rave scene kind of took off, and so a lot of people played a lot a
Yeah,
lot of
mid 90s.
rave. Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, this is my original import 12-inch. I got it
Yep.
at
I have that one.
Wax Trax Records here in Denver, and it is just the best. I mean, it goes beyond just wanting to sound like Depeche Mode. They've carved out their own thing like camouflage.
People mentioned in the chat, some of these songs have great hooks. That's
Yeah.
what keeps them current, keeps them
Timeless.
playlists. Yep,
And
timeless.
and that is, I think, what you and I both love about synth pop is that's why they call it pop, not just synth.
Yeah. Yep.
There are great melodies, great choruses, great hooks, and because we only have 15 minutes left, I'm just going to roll through yours because they're also my picks.
Okay.
We're going to do was not Seven Red 7, Cause and Effect.
Let's do Cause and Effect. Let me talk about them for a little bit. These guys, so Rob Rowe and Sean Rowley, these guys were from Sacramento back in the late 80s, early 90s. And so at that time, Sacramento wasn't too far from where I lived. I lived in San Francisco. And we were going to do an interview with these guys. Okay, they're going to come to the station, do an interview. Cause and Effect were on tour with Information Society. They're in Minneapolis. During a sound check, Sean Rowley had a cardiac arrest and died. He was 23 years old. Okay, so this band just got off the ground. Fantastic debut album. Died at age 23.
Wow.
Total shock. So the band didn't continue on tour with Information Society. They came back here to regroup. And I don't know if you know this, but Keith Milo, who joined the band to replace Sean, he used to be Danya's from Anything Box roommate back in college.
Oh, I thought you were going to say boyfriend. I was like,
no, they were roommates. And so he took up the helm, and him and Rob Rowe continued Cause and Effect with their next album, Trip, and great songs. They continued great songs. I just felt so bad because Sean was like 23 years old. I can't even imagine that, passing away at that such a young age.
I mean, think how much music was left in that guy.
Exactly. And just like Anything Box and Red Flag, their debut album, Cause and Effect, fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And then I think Seven Red 7 and Cause and Effect were very similar, but Seven Red 7 was a little bit more synthy driven. Mm-hmm. But we'll get to them soon. I think we have time to get them in. And let's talk about if we want to get that the Siren song on towards the end, or do we want to leave with New Order? So think about that.
Okay.
Because I think we have time for 3 more songs, maybe 4.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
The song is called What Do You See?
Pure Energy. Welcome, Mama Phoenix.
How do you sleep when you keep your heart? What do you see? And how do you treat their hearts? And when it falls, where will you keep your heart? What you want to
Hi, that is Cause and Effect, and I can see why they toured with
Information Society.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah,
that
very
same
similar
beat.
styles. Yep.
Yeah, and some of you that were tuned in when Information Society was on the show right after the cruise, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Kurt's quite a character.
I loved meeting that guy, and he was a great guest. And y'all can find that on YouTube if you missed the show. Just search Vinyl Resting Place and Information Society. I will be putting up more of the shows up there. And I have past shows from like 5 years ago that I might put up. Some of my first ones, like my third show I have recorded.
Yeah, throw your whole library up there.
Yeah, well, I didn't save them all because they were all like 6-7 gigs, and I was like, what am I gonna do with all these? I played every week for 5 years, but it was back when I first did it. I sat on a couch, and I only had one record player, and those were the days.
Hey, we all started with that one record player.
I know. It's like someday I'm gonna get 2 record players. Okay, up next is a song we both picked. 7 Red 7, Thinking of You. Anything
Yeah.
special?
So these guys, Mitchell Adrian, he's from Chicago, back in the early '90s, and I had a publication that I ran called Renegade Soundwave Productions, and it was similar to what we do today. We were just promoting synthpop bands, and he wrote to me, said, "What is Renegade Soundwave about?" And I said, "We promote synthpop music."
It's about
He
a
sent
robbery,
me-
or probably a
Yeah.
robbery.
He sent me a bunch of his stuff, and thinking of you was on this album. Fantastic. I played it a lot. Great hooks. I think you all love it as well.
Okay, well, let's let it rip.
No worries. Okay, there you go.
Everything
right, that is 7 Red 7. And if you like that, you will also like their other song, That Way Again,
Yes.
which sounds pretty much just like that one. You ever notice, like, when bands have a hit, their next song is always very similar to the hit?
Very similar. I think they probably wrote it in probably the same duration, same night. So their stream of consciousness probably flowed over.
Yeah, they're like, "Ooh, that one worked. Let's do another one like that." David Banner, great music. Thank you for listening. And if y'all don't know David Banner, and you should by now, he is on Mondays at noon Denver time, so 11. Thursdays he does Sad Dance on the Autobahn, which is newer music, and sometimes a Depeche stream, sometimes from the club on the weekends. Follow David Banner. Go click on it right now. And Mama Scenics, my better half, is in the chat. Everybody say hi to Mama Scenics. She has her own emote. And who else has their own emote? A couple people. Brian, you need your own emote.
Yeah, I do.
Our friend in Portland. So Irish Dragon's in the chat, and he asked if I could convince you to stream during one of his raid trains. He does a all new wave raid train every once in a while, and it's coming up in June.
Okay.
But if you have anything to play music, even digital, it doesn't matter, and have a way to interface it into what we're doing now in Twitch, you have a Twitch account. You guys write each other if you ever want to do an all new wave train. You don't have to mix. You can if you want, but you have controllers, you have interfaces. You're out in the wild DJ, so.
All right. I'll reach out now.
Yeah, Irish Dragon and Brian, you guys get introduced, because you haven't, or have you, streamed on Twitch? Have you done stuff?
I haven't. Used this particular platform very much, just to watch others. But I'm a quick study. I can get it up and running.
All right, so Irish Dragon, you two talk and see if he can't get you on. So we have 2 more songs, then we'll right over to Riley Moore in Los Angeles. Do you know Riley, Brian?
I do not.
Okay, we'll get you introduced eventually, if we don't run into all of you down there. Your second to last song is what?
It's going to be C'est tu déjà vu, Situations.
Okay, cool.
Now, this is an interesting band. They are a German synthpop band that's fronted by a Spanish vocalist named Javier. And
Yeah.
super catchy. If I can use the word catchy, this song right here has the catchiest synthpop that I've ever played in any of my clubs. And
Yeah.
whenever I play it, people rush out to the dance floor. They said this song right here gets me going.
It's a classic.
So check it out.
That
Yeah.
And a lot of people know their song "Have in Mind."
Yes.
Here is
And
Situations.
that's probably the realm that you spoke about, where they probably wrote the two very closely together.
Uh-huh. And Porqué. There's so many great songs by them.
Yeah.
And our
But the
friend,
song's called yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Robert Ellinger, the promoter in Houston, has been trying to get them to do a reunion for years.
Yeah, Javier's a professor now, so I don't know. Kind of like how Thomas Dolby. Well, Thomas Dolby's a professor. He came out, right? He's still touring.
Wouldn't that
But
be
the lead
interesting?
singer for C'est tu déjà vu, he's been a professor for a long time. So I don't know if he's gonna
Well,
get back into singing.
he's trying to get Vicious Pink to play numbers in 2026, and if he gets Setu Javu, we're all going to Houston.
Oh, I will definitely fly out for that.
Okay, here is Situations.
Situations like these I'd never like to miss.
We'll cut it there at the break.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, it's a fine band, and I always just assumed they were somewhere from Mexico or South America. And then to find out they're German, I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah. They were on this Blanco y Negro label out of Spain. So maybe that's why you thought they were from Mexico.
Probably, looking at the label, without the internet, when these things came out, we just made assumptions.
Yep.
It's not like the Rolling Stone was covering Setu Javu. Rain check on Denver. Okay. Cool. Becca, that's cool. Let's whisper me the info. Yes, I will let you know, Valley Girl. Okay, so we have one more song left, and then at
One
the
more
end of
song.
it, one more.
So yeah. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Hope some of my favorites become some of your favorites as well. I did create a Spotify playlist. For those of you that were looking in the chat, feel free to click on that and message me. I'll be happy to tell you more about any of these bands. This last song, let me talk about this one. This one, in my humble opinion, is one of the most beautiful songs in existence. The band is called This Mortal Coil, and it's a combination of a couple of artists on the 4AD label. 4AD was very synonymous with goth and dark wave way back in the day. The owner of 4AD had a couple of bands underneath the label, like the Cocteau Twins, and he plucked out Elizabeth Fraser, who's the vocalist for the Cocteau Twins, and put her on this song. And she's got one of the most ethereal, melodic voices of any female artist I've ever heard. I mean, if I could hire her to sing like a private concert for me, I would. So enjoy. This song's called Song to the Siren. You may have heard it in a couple of movies back in the day. I think a couple of movies did play it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful voice. Let's do it. And what a way to end the song. And we'll come back after the song to say good night to everybody and raid on over.
Yeah. Yep.
On the floating shipless oceans, I did all my best to smile till your singing eyes and fingers drew me laughing to your eyes, and you sang, said to me, let me unfold you. Here I am, waiting to hold you. Did I dream? You dreamed about me. Were you here when I was for sale? Now my foolish boat is leaning, broken love long on your rock. For you sing, touch me not, come back tomorrow. Oh my heart, shine my sorrow. Well, I'm as puzzled as a newborn child. I'm as riddled as the tide. Should I stand amid the breakers, or should I lie with death, my bride? Hear me sing, swim to me, swim to me, let me unfold you. Here I am, here I am, waiting to hold you.
All right. And Riley just texted me. She might be a little late. Let me check because we might have a chance to play one more song. Okay. I'm just eyeballing her. But we appreciate everybody being here today. Following Riley Moore. Let's see. Does anybody know if Riley's on yet? Riley Moore. Oh, yeah, she's live, but she's not on camera yet. So that doesn't count. Just so y'all know, when we raid, we want to see you on camera. And she's on camera. So,
Okay.
so Brian, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Rando.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for having me this week.
And we will all be down at Cruel World this weekend. If anyone
see you.
wants to hook up with us, send a whisper, and I'll send you my cell number. And y'all know Brian, so send him a note. I'm sure we'll see you there because there's only 50,000 people there.
And no cell reception, so of course we'll find each other.
Of course not. Meet by the tree, the old oak tree with the sketched-in heart.
Yes.
All right, so join us next week
Okay.
for DJ Poe. He's hosting this while we're at Blancmange on Monday, and then I'll be back the following week. But definitely tune in Monday next week for DJ Poe. He's joining us from Portland, and he probably has a guest. We'll see what he plays.
Yep.
Brian, we'll see you
Okay.
this week.
Yep.
It should be a good.
Take care, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. We are gonna go raid Riley in what 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds. See ya. I'll see you in 2 weeks, and some of you join next week for DJ Poe. There we go.